through 3 and 4 for the final time. There's the contact. He does get to him. The 11 on the inside. He gets into the wall. Dillon's going to win it at the line.
I don't know. Apparently it's okay. What do you want me to say? Apparently you can come from 5 car lengths back and completely wreck someone and then wreck another one to the line, and we're going to call that racing. Cool. That's fun.
Take that away?
Yeah. Yeah, they won't. They won't.
Did you think that was coming, Joey?
No, when you get like that far back ahead, that's 3 to 4 car lengths ahead into 3. I'd even back up the entry. I was like, I'll just wrap the bottom here. I'm good. And he just drives in so hard.
Against, to prevent ridiculous acts, but, it's been a long time since those rules really have been enforced. I mean, didn't Lane Riggs spin someone out and get 2 lap penalty or some bullshit? Like, this is, it's tough because this is what the young short track racers see, and they think that this is okay because they watch the professionals on Sunday that are supposed to act like adults just do dumb shit, and it's just amazing that it's allowed. I mean, but I don't fault him because he's completely desperate, right? He's 30th in points. He jumps 20 spots in points or whatever the hell it is. It's his season saved. Now, he'll have to pay repercussions down the line for this, and but it's so worth it from his standpoint. Because
spicy return to the Armchair Crew Chief. My name is Jordan. I am with my lovely wife, Rebecca, and we are here. We missed Indianapolis, which was a snooze fest until they didn't throw the caution for Ryan Preece sitting out in turn 3 and 4, I think it was. And so they just let what's his name win it, Larson win it. So that's got its own thing, but this takes precedent over everything. This puts, in my opinion, Denny Hamlin jumping the start line at Richmond Spring to shame. I think we think we have, if it brings up, which it's not acting right, live audio to what Austin Dillon was thinking in his head here.
Woo, I'm about to make a name for myself here. I don't think you guys walk away from this. You just make sure we'll know what happened here today.
And Pop-Up talking there saying, I don't think you walk away from this. Everybody in the world knew this, even if Joey says that he didn't think it was coming.
Everybody knows this. This is the only way that Austin Dillon has ever run a race because he is not a talented race car driver.
So we have a statistical hack who has averaged 23rd, gets a race win. Now, granted, he was running strong at Richmond, and Ryan Preece and Ricky Stenhouse just ran into each other. It's like Ryan Preece ran out of talent. People want to put it on Stenhouse. I think it was Preece, in my opinion. But they caused the caution, and Dillon loses. He takes the inside, loses it, loses the Joey going into 1 and 2, going into 2 out of 2, and then Joey just kind of drives off, keeps going. Austin Dillon gets close to him, not enough, and then come around, takes the white flag. They're about to take the checkered. Austin Dillon just goes beep it, full sends it, and runs right into him. And then you have this audio that happens that is the dagger in the coffin on it as well. So take a listen to this. If it'll load here itself. Everything's being a pain in the rear end. Anyway, the first video was courtesy of NASCAR, and then we had post-race interviews of Joey Logano and Denny Hamlin as well. And then here is our audio from his spotter.
Down, run him down, back in, come on, back in! Coming down, run him down, back in, come on.
So the spotter is calling specifically for Austin Dillon to wreck Denny Hamlin, who is coming passed him because Dillon lost momentum because he drove right into the rear bumper of Denny Hamlin.
No, Joey Logano.
Yeah, excuse me, rear bumper of Joe Logano. So Denny Hamlin's coming and passing him, and he's like, wreck him. So they wreck him. And
I just would like to point out there was a lot of NASCAR fans that were so excited, and I can tell you the only reason they were excited was because it was the number 3. Not who was driving it, it was because the number 3. They were all like, oh, Dale's back. Okay, Austin Dillon ain't
the intimidator. He is not the intimidator. He is the imitator.
Yes.
And my goodness, that was the hardest thing to discuss with people on social medias, because I got called a Bubba Wallace fan because of, quote unquote, complaining about this. But I'm sorry this happened.
And then everybody's going, oh, Denny and Joey do this all the time. One, they do, and they have wrecked out people, and they've pushed people aside. But they were actually jockeying for position. They were, competing for a while. They don't just come up from behind them and just take them out. I've never seen them do that. Or I've never seen in the history of NASCAR someone take out 2 cars like that to win the race. And everybody's like, oh, it doesn't matter because they deserve it. And I'm like, I 1,000% do not like Denny Hamlin. I 1,000% do not like Joey Logano. But neither of those things should have happened. Yet, everyone in my family, we were watching, we knew it was going to happen, because that's the only way that Austin Dillon has won any Cup Series race.
Right before they get to the restart zone. One, you hear pop-up, RC, you know what to do.
Yeah.
That's a clear-cut thing, and we'll talk about that Joker here later, because I am calling him a Joker. He's given off bad vibes from even when I saw him at Pocono a couple years ago. But anyway, he gave off bad, he's like, you know what to do, go at all cost. Austin Dillon comes out and says, I won at all cost. Denny Hamlin said, he had to do what he had to do. This is a product of the win and get in culture that we are in now. But the biggest thing you have is you have a lot of these NASCAR fans that are out there. One, you have the people that want it old school. They want these cars to, 900 horsepower. I'm over-exaggerating. 900 horsepower, 230 miles an hour around Daytona and whatnot. And one, these cars are not sheet metal 2,000, 3,000 pound bodies or whatever they were. And
cars are so much different.
They're so much lighter.
And the packages are so much different for each race. NASCAR's ruined the cars in this sense, and so you will not get that kind of racing anymore.
I argue that that's not going to ever happen.
No, especially because they already say because the parts are too expensive, you got to be careful.
And then you have some of these NASCAR fans that are still stuck. I remember hearing this at Martinsville, and I've said it on the podcast. Toyota should have never been in the sport. It needs to be all American. And it's like, you are really ignorant to the world to not know that there are more Toyotas and Hondas and so on, Mercedes probably even too, made vehicles in the United States than there are GM and Ford. I mean, Ford's probably up there pretty high, but GM is mostly Canada and Mexico. So, I mean, you got to get with the times on that point. But we're also not saying that you shouldn't have any racing. You need racing. The silly quote that comes from Days of Thunder, rubbing is racing.
Yeah.
It still stands true, and it needs to happen. But at the same time, you got to kind of, you can't come from 5 car lengths behind and full send it into somebody and then keep going. This isn't a video game. We've already outlawed the video game thing, which people were okay with Austin Dillon driving through 2 cars. But then have
last year,
2 years ago, you have Ross Chastain.
Anything that he did was he did on purpose and terrible.
Well, he sends it against the wall, and they're like, "Oh, that's outlawed." He didn't take out a car during that, except for his own car, and he made it past, and the car was still operational. Then you have somebody like Denny. Hold on. Then you have somebody like Denny Hamlin last year gets Chase Elliott suspended for intentionally wrecking him. Bubba Wallace gets in trouble for intentionally wrecking somebody.
Larson.
You have Austin Dillon trying to pull the same crap last year with somebody saying they intentionally tried to wreck him when that was not true.
Yeah.
But we're okay with people driving through, and I think it was, you go, like he said, Logano was saying, and then you have Harvick said it on his thing when his son called him. It's like, what do I do here? I see that this is okay. Is this okay? And Harvick put it out there. It's like, no, it's not. It's not okay for you to do this.
His son.
Like,
you didn't say
Keelan. He talked to Keelan, his son. It's like, no, it's not okay for you to come up. And that was kind of what,
Reddick said the same thing.
Yeah, Reddick said the same exact thing on NASCAR radio.
And they're like, is that okay, Dad?
And so you have all this nonsense going on where NASCAR is making a name for themselves in a bad way, but then they're inconsistent and talking on both sides of their mouth. Got a couple more audio clips here. The first one, then I'll have to find the other one because I want to play the other one, which was Dale Jr. If anybody knows what Senior was doing, Dale Jr. is one of the guys that would know.
Yeah.
So, but this is Greg Biffle talking about it. He kind of sums it up. Some people were talking crap about this, like, calling him a piece of crap and things like that. But I questioned that dude and was like, are you really a NASCAR fan, or are you one of these that just wanted to see Austin Dillon win, like we were saying, because he's in the 3 car, which is a stupid thing to say. You got all these people that are like, raise hell, praise Dale. And then, you have something like this, which is nowhere near it. But, just listen to this and hear it. Hopefully it'll play and not jump. So, naturally I have to do a stupid thing to make sure I'm not a robot. So let's see if I can get this thing to play, and then we'll listen.
You said, and I stick by it, it doesn't take any talent to wreck a car. It takes talent to push on him or rub him and move him out of the way and go on. Earnhardt was an expert at it. Other drivers are. I tend to think I did that okay. But if you rub on the guy and he spins out and wrecks, that's okay too, because it wasn't intentional. You were trying to just ease him out of the way. But just to clean a guy out doesn't take any talent to do that. Anyone can do that. We've all been at the go-kart track and just drove through the guy in front of us. It doesn't really take anything to do that. Just take a fast car. Just run over the guy. So that's my 2 cents. Again, I wasn't there. I wasn't in the car. But that's my opinion. There is some pissed off people, which I don't blame them. He deserved to win that race 100%. Not the way that he did it, but because he had a fast car.
Yeah, I'll give him that. He had a fast car and he was leading it, and it's so convenient that, another rabbit hole you can jump down. It's so convenient that NASCAR or NBC picks these teams to like piggyback and watch their crew chief, the team, and everything, and sit with them. And the next thing you know, they're doing awesome, or like win the race or come second or something like that. So, that's another rabbit hole to go down. But other than that, he was running well. I'm not going to discredit him of that. The one, blind squirrel finds an acorn every now and then, too. So, but this isn't the only race. I think 3 other races he's wrecked people for the win. Daytona 500. Taking Almirola out. He's taken quite a few people out too. So this is one of those things that it's.
I think this was technically the 4th when we looked at him, because it was 2 Daytonas and Atlanta, maybe.
I don't remember, but yeah, he but
that's the only way that he's won a cup race, or it's been rained out, so he got the win. That's the only way that, and he's been in the sport. What did we look it up?
It was 14 years or something like
14 years, crazy. And like this year, what the most ridiculous statistic is, it's 23 races, and he's only finished on the lead lap for 13 of them.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
And then everybody's like, "Oh, this is great." No, it's not great. It's not. Like, just like change drivers and change people who got wrecked out, and like, is it really great? Is it the same thing? Because it's not. I don't like any of those drivers, and I thought it was a terrible thing. And yet, as avid NASCAR fans, we knew it was going to happen. We knew if he wasn't in the lead, he was going to crash out the person in front of him because that's what he does.
Yeah. Now, look,
that's what he does.
And going again, there's a ton of people talking about this. You have, door bumper clear going at it, and everybody except for the fan base, who I think is clouded in their judgment. And I say the fan base that are anti-Joey and anti-Denny and can't figure it out. It's one of those things that it's like, get away from that thought process and just look at the 3 cars that were involved in this and go from there. But they don't want to do that. Here's another clip. This is the clip show, because this is so much stuff's been talked about this. Here's a clip from Dale Jr. Download and them talking about it, and you can just hear some of the ideas that were going around. Let's see if I don't like the effect it doesn't have.
Tweeted,
Jimmy Johnson.
This move to something your dad would do. What do you think? Is that a fair comparison?
Dad was rough. He had a little spell, especially in that blue and yellow car where 86, 87, he got pretty rough.
Someone on Twitter went through and looked at the last 20 finishes of his wins, and there was only one where there was like really any egregious contact made, and it was Bristol, Terry Labonte.
Yeah.
That was the one. Otherwise, he was either clean, gapping people, winning by a lot. So
back then, it's certainly a different time. I don't know. I don't know if I saw Dad ever clean 2 of them out in the last corner.
I don't know. We've seen anybody do that.
He did. First time for everything.
So there you go. That tells you right there that even everybody wants to throw shade at. Oh, Dale Sr. did it. Not when he was winning the the past 20 winners or whatever it was. He didn't. He did it once in Bristol, which is Bristol. Come on now.
Now Bristol and even Richmond now aren't the same because of the stinking cars. But back then, and even just a few years ago, Bristol's Bristol. People get hot, and it's short track, and they're wrecking all the time. And not that that's acceptable either. It's just more likely there, and it's a little less dangerous there too because the speeds aren't as high.
Yeah, and I saw an interview Austin Dillon did about it. He kind of goes, well, the emotions were there and that, and the 3 car, we've been beaten, bang up, and blah, 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 and I did a diamond, and I come through, and you watch the video, and the way his eyes just shift back and forth, you can tell that he's coming up with stuff just to lie about it, and it's so annoying.
He's an actor. He had his own show for a little while. He's an actor. As we said, he's an imitator, not the intimidator.
So, and then going back, I got another clip I want to play because this one's a good one on what the spotter said. And, we'll get into, we had a penalty report come out today rather than Tuesday, and we'll get on that in just a little bit. And we'll talk about the truck race because the trucks did race too. And also, Chase Elliott did try to run Martin Truex Jr. into the wall to get 10th place, which he just about did. But that all got overshadowed.
Yeah.
So, Chase Elliott's been pretty crappy recently, too.
Yes, he has. He's, desperate.
Anyway, this is the door bumper clear, guys. And, this puts it in perspective for people that don't know spotters or listen to any spotters or don't even listen to this because it'll put it in perspective for you there, too. So, take a listen to this.
Have you ever said wreck him?
Never.
Have you ever insinuated you should retaliate?
Yes. I think you tell people you race how you race.
I 100% told Ellie Saller to wreck somebody. I'd wreck that mother.
Yeah, I've said I've had enough of this guy, or I don't think I've ever outright said wreck this guy, wreck him.
What I'm taking from this conversation is we now need to have code words for wrecking people.
Yes.
So
give them the pizza, strawberries.
They turned into a joke.
Watermelon. This might be the first time that I've ever seen second place take out first and third in 3 and 4 in the race. It's that guy in that video.
They joke around it, but it's ridiculous that we're joking about this and how everything came out because Austin Dillon, and again, we've already said this, and for people that don't know, Austin Dillon's done this before. People look blindly to it because it's RCR and it's the 3 car.
Yes, it's
the
3 car.
Something else I kind of touched on a little bit with RC, what he was talking about this, you listen to the end of that thing, and it's like, Pop-Pop's proud of you for doing what you did and winning that race. And he also said, you know, you got to do what you got to do. And somebody asked RC about it after the race, and he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't hear any of that. And it was just a total straight line to the teeth, through his teeth, because they came out and they said, hey, listen to this. This is the in-car audio. And he's like, oh, well, I don't think they really meant it that way. Bull crap. I mean, this is just...
it's bull crap, because that's what he taught his grandson, how to race like that.
And
this is why his grandson can't actually be competitive, because that's the only way he knows how to race.
And if I am Kyle Busch, I am trying to get as far away from this organization as I can.
Oh, yes.
Dump the money, do something.
100%.
I mean, he won't sit out a year because somebody will find a spot for him. And there's open spots. Spire's got an open spot. You know, you got a couple other cars there's a couple other little spots here and there. I think Front Row has an open spot. So there's spots for him to go. It's just the fact that if I were him, I would get so far away from RCR. One, he's had a down year this year.
Okay, little side note. We don't even like Kyle Busch.
No, we don't. That's the thing. It's pretty bad. I'm going to see if I can pull up the statistics on it. But, yeah.
We don't like Kyle Busch, but we know Kyle Busch is a good race car driver. And he's been... I don't know if if they're giving him the crappiest stuff ever. They don't have equipment. I don't know what's going on there. Because... Kyle Busch has never been this bad.
No,
never.
No, it's been... So, looking at 2024 stats here...
he wasn't even this bad when he broke both of his freaking legs.
No. So, he's only had 2 top 5 finishes, 6 top 10s. His average finish is 19.35 this year. Average start 17.7. He's had 5 DNFs. He's led 136 laps. 136 laps out of 5,913 laps he's been on the track running. I mean,
but at the same time, though, that's probably even better than Austin.
No, you know what? Let's find out, because this is kind of so. There you go. There's RCR there with that one. Now let's go look at grandson. And you know what? I'm one of these guys. You rag on.
Yeah, we totally ragged
Ty
on
Gibbs.
Ty Gibbs.
Grandpa,
So
Grandpa, and it's like,
because he's
what?
done stuff too, but he was not that bad. Like, it was bad at that time, and that's the thing that drives me nuts. So many people were ragging on him, and just the same thing with Ross Chastain. Oh, he's gonna wreck him, and all this stuff. And then this guy who sucks terribly comes down just because he got the number 3. Everybody's like, yeah. I'm like, what?
So here's Austin Dillon's career: 395 races, 5 wins, 23 top 5, 78 top 10s. Average finish 18.4. This is his career. 6 poles, 43 DNFs. This year he has done 23 races. He's won 1 Sunday, 1 top 5. His 1 win is a top 5. He's had 3 top 10s, 4 top 15s. His average finish is 23.5.
Yeah.
23.5. He's been on the track longer than Kyle Busch has, so 6,000 laps. He's led 35 laps. And that also, you also got to remember too, honestly, if you go look at the stats, probably all 35 of those laps came from Sunday.
I don't know.
Where he ran
probably
Richmond. Yeah. All 35 laps came from Richmond this Sunday.
Yeah.
When he had the dominant car. He craps the bed all this time. So he had a DVP at Sonoma, accident in New Hampshire, accident in Nashville, so he hasn't had so many DNFs, but he's sitting there, and he's only allotted that. He's sitting 31st in points right now out of 35, I think it is, 36 cars.
Yeah.
So that's why I say he's a statistical hack, is because the stats show that he sucks.
Yeah.
To put it, you can't put anything nicer, any other way than, he sucks. And the only reason he's got a cup ride, and anybody in the world will tell you this, is because of RC.
Yeah.
Somebody should, Kyle Busch should have been driving that 3 car, and Tyler Reddick should be driving the 8 car. But Tyler Reddick got into a tit for tat with grandson, so he got his butt out, kicked out.
Yep.
And it's just, it's bullcrap. Will Joe Gibbs do the same thing whenever it comes to Ty Gibbs? I don't know, because there's rumor that he was trying to bring up a guy that butted heads with Ty in the Xfinity. So maybe Joe Gibbs will sit down and tell him, look, you guys are teammates on the track and in this building.
You know what, though?
And be respectful.
I feel like Ty Gibbs, after winning the championship and his dad dying, he's turned into a different person. I think he's really grown up. I don't think Austin Dillon's ever had to grow up.
No, probably not.
I mean, like, you've been in the Cup Series for so long, and you're gonna go out there and lie about what you just did? Like, what?
Yeah.
Like,
well, and let me
it's so silly. I was totally like, the interviews afterwards, Joey Logano, I agreed with like everything he said. Denny Hamlin, I was agreeing with it, but they really have to think about what they're saying so they don't get in trouble.
Well, okay, so we look at, and let's compare grandson to grandson real quick. So we were looking at, average, we were talking about average finishes. So Ty Gibbs has about the same top fives, I think a little less top tens. He has led 349 laps, not 35, ran about the same amount of laps as Austin Dillon. His highest finish is second, not first. But at the same time, he's only had one DNF. His average finish is 15.39, where Austin Dillon's 23.
And he's been in the series for...
His average start is 10.3, so let's go back and look at Austin Dillon. Average start this year for Austin Dillon has not been 10.3. It has been... His average start for the 2024, 19.8.
Yeah.
So he's running around and saying, no, he can't qualify. I mean, RCR, are the ECR engines crap? I don't know. They seem, Kyle Busch can tell you something about that, because he seems to have some pretty crappy engines. You notice how all the crap stuff, all the failures have happened to Kyle Busch, not to Austin Dillon.
I know, but that's just like Joe Gibbs. It's always
Truex or Christopher Bell,
or Christopher Bell's car.
Or Ty Gibbs. So Truex.
It's never Denny's or Bubba's or
Reddick
or Reddick's.
So let's go back into our thing here. Our qualifying. Denny Hamlin got the pole. Truex got second. Barry third. Elliott fourth. Christopher Bell fifth. Stage one ending. You had our top five: Bubba Wallace, Joey Logano, Truex, Denny Hamlin, Christopher Bell. It looked like this was going to be a Toyota-dominated race again, just the way everything has been running.
Yeah.
And they would run out to a huge lead, and then they would kind of slowly get them. Now, mind you, they had option tires on here. They only had 2 sets of them. It helped Suarez for his positioning. His strategy didn't help him net him a win, but it netted him a lot better than he started.
Yes.
So it was just the way you play out. And again, the Reds. So Suarez finished first in stage 2. You have Seabell second, Hamlin third. And, going back down here, this is what we were talking about. Chase Elliott 10th, Truex 11th. Truex was 10th, and he was sitting there right next to Carson Hocevar. And Chase Elliott goes, F this, I'm going to go ahead and hit these people. To me, he pulled an Austin Dillon almost.
Oh, he almost did, yeah.
So, yeah, Chase Elliott's been getting on my crap list recently.
Yeah.
Besides, he's been, just boring. But anyway, Truex doesn't finish the race. His engine expires. Besides that, he had a pit road mishap, which somebody else did too. Kyle Busch had the same thing happen. The tire chain left rear tire doesn't go on, and the tire falls off, like right there in the pit, because the jackman drops it, and the drivers are programmed to go as soon as the jack's dropped.
Yeah, the jackmen are not paying attention.
No, they're not. But then, this is something we've harped on with James Small before, is he's not a good crew chief. I feel bad for Chase Briscoe, because I think he's going to find out that James Small's not good.
Yeah, he's not.
All he does is make tire pressure changes.
Pretty much, if Truex' car comes off and it's a great car, he'll win the race or they'll ruin it.
Yeah,
but if the car comes out and it needs adjustments, they can't do anything. He doesn't know how to fix the car at all.
No, and I was telling somebody earlier this week, I said if Joe Gibbs, and this is what I thought they should have done anyway, Joe Gibbs would have got Rodney Childers in the 19 crew chief for next year, I think Truex would have stayed another year. Without a doubt.
I don't know.
Stayed another year.
He needed a new crew chief 2 years ago.
Oh, 3 years since Cole Pern left.
Yeah.
So that's the year after that's the year after somebody swapped tires on him to let Joey Logano win the championship.
I mean, you could give James Smalls a couple years, whatever. This is just like stupid. This right to me is just Joe Gibbs being loyal to people instead of being objective.
Right. So moving on, if you didn't figure it out, you wouldn't have known by us talking for the past, 31 minutes on the Austin Dillon fiasco, because that took over everything motorsport related in America, if you ask me. Qualifying, because you even had people that are like, I don't even really watch the race. I thought that was one great thing. That's what we need more of. And it's like, no, not from 5 car lengths from behind.
And not from a...
Scratch the statistical hack.
No.
He's going to do it. No, nobody. Chase Elliott, Denny Hamlin, you put Kyle, but they're smart enough not to do it from there. And then some people tried to pull out some audio, some clips of Joey Logano. Like, look, Joey Logano did it. No, he may have been a half a car length behind, but not 5.
If Ross Chastain did that.
Yeah, the book would have been thrown at him.
No, you would not hear the end of it. Everyone would be going mad.
Yeah,
everyone would be
Chastain's
going
horrible.
mad.
He's evil. He's a hack.
Even put it even further back. If, as we call him, Ricky.
Yeah, Ricky Stenhouse.
If he did it, they'd be like, "Oh my gosh, this guy sucks."
Yeah,
that was horrible. They'd be booing him.
I think Ricky's smart enough not to do that.
Oh yeah, no, he wouldn't do that. But I'm just saying, like these fans are not looking at this objectively. They're just like, "Yay,
praise Dale."
They're like, "Yay, number 3," and they're like, "Yay, it was Denny Hamlin and Joey Logano."
Yeah, that's the biggest.
And
one.
I'm like, seriously, you don't actually enjoy the sport then,
or you don't pay attention to it that much. Like, I got into an argument with a guy who just like, he's the one that called me a Bubba Wallace fan, and then I was like, go look at what Greg Biffle, and he's going to go a Hall of Famer if I remember correctly. Greg Biffle, or should be, out there saying, oh, he's a piece of S.
Yeah, I always liked Greg Biffle
because of what he said. And it's like, you're too stupid if you're so dead set. I don't like to get political in the way, but. And I don't care what side of the table it is. So this is going to be an apolitical political statement. People on both sides of the table, Republican and Democrat, get the same way. They get so dead set in their mind that they don't look at it the other way. And I tried tell so many people, pull the cars out of it, or what makes this legal and the Hail Melon illegal.
Right.
So, and I only had one person tell me, Lucky, that, you know what? I loved it when Ross did it, and I like it when this happened. He's the only person that said that. Everybody else is like, oh, that's illegal, what Ross did, but what Austin did is not illegal, and that's awesome.
And it's because Ross did it. That's what I'm saying. Like, people just... Yeah. Their minds are clouded by these things.
So, going on to the truck race, our top 5 in qualifying, William Sawalich, Lane Riggs, Grant Enfinger, Ty Majeski, Christian Eckes. That was our qualifying. Stage 1, Eckes won it. Taylor Gray, Grant Enfinger 3rd, Ben Rhodes 4th, and just a Crafton 7th. Crafton was on the edge, the brink of missing the playoffs for the first time since this playoff format's happened with this. And then just jumping ahead, we'll go to the end of the race. Ty Majeski, he led 70 laps. Christian Eckes 2nd, Taylor Gray 3rd, Grant Enfinger 4th, Lane Riggs 5th. So that puts us into the playoffs now for the Truck Series. And the playoff picture that we are looking at is, and they do top 10, not 16, Corey Heim, Christian Eckes, Ty Majeski, Nick Sanchez, Rajah Caruth, Grant Enfinger, Tyler Ankrum, Taylor Gray, Ben Rhodes, and Daniel Dye. So Crafton missed it for the first time since this playoff format's been around.
Yeah. I mean, he hasn't been doing good.
No,
the
he's
past
been
couple
he's been
years.
poor. Exactly. So that puts that into perspective. Going in, and I don't even want to go into the playoffs or the standings right now for the Cup Series, because I want to discuss the penalties that have happened. First of all, Joey Logano was fined $50,000. Joey Logano was fined because, and you kind of could hear a little bit of it, you wouldn't know what it was, but in the first clip that I played, he was actually going down pit road, hot pit road, hot track still.
Uh-huh.
And he revs his engine near Austin Dillon's and spins his tires too.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, spins his tires near Austin Dillon's pit box. One, why are there so many people on a hot track still?
Yeah.
NASCAR didn't do their job there to hold them back. And then, Joey shouldn't have done what he did. He pulled an idiot move there.
Oh yeah,
it was in the heat of the moment.
He definitely shouldn't have done what he did.
But at the same time, NASCAR should have held those people back.
Exactly. It was I mean, he literally. I don't even think Austin Dillon's done doing donuts and stuff yet.
Right. So that happens. Then we have Austin Dillon gets. They don't take the win away from him, so he still gets the purse for winning. His win will not count towards the playoffs, so it dumps him back into the bottom half. He loses 25 driver and owner points, so that actually put him at 31st. And then his spotter, as we were talking about earlier in the day, in my opinion, the idiot of the whole situation.
Well, I wouldn't say the idiot of the. Well, I guess maybe.
No, because
you could say the idiot of the whole situation.
He's fine. He's suspended 3 races because of what he said and how he told him to drive.
As I was saying, he was saying what everyone else wanted to say, but they didn't say it. So he said it, so he's getting all the blame. But like I said, everyone knows when Austin Dillon is up in the front and he's in second place, he's going to crash out whoever's in front of him to win that race. We knew it. We went nuts. Because we called it. We knew it. We knew it was going to happen.
Yeah.
And going back to the whole Greg Biffle thing real quick, because you said something, I just realized something. I really liked and respect what he said, because Greg Biffle is a really good race car driver, and he was before. And the way you could tell is he always had his car set up really loose. He loved his car loose. So he could get really loose off of things and save it. And people could hit him and he could save it really well. So he's been in those situations. He knows he is a talented race car driver to be able to make that statement.
I don't know. Some people think that he's a piece of crap.
These are the same people that never watched him race before, probably.
Yeah, probably.
That's one of the reasons why I actually like Biffle, because it was like he would make some amazing saves because his car was always so loose.
So he won the 18-500 by Wreck and Almirola. He won the 17 Coke 600. I think that was I can't remember how that one ended. Truex took the lead. Truex and Busch on fresher tires get their way through the field. 2 laps to go, Johnson's fuel tank ran dry. Dillon assumed the race lead and preserved it to hold off. So that might have been one. There was a fuel mileage. He ran out of fuel. That's like one of his only legitimate wins. He won the duels. He won the Coke Zero Sugar 400 at Daytona. So he's really only won super speedways except for Richmond.
Yeah.
So you go back and look at the final stage. I think this was one where maybe this is the one. This is the one where he pushed Cindric. Yeah, this is the one where he just about wrecked Cindric, but Cindric saved it. Cindric had the lead because he won.
Yes.
And he pushed him to get him out of the way, and he almost wrecked him.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But he still drove through him.
Yeah, he did.
And so, so he was 17 Coke 600, 2018 Daytona 500 winner. And that's the one overtime. Almirola was leading at the white flag, but a mistimed block, they call it. Is what Wikipedia's calling it. No, when you look at it, no, this wasn't a mistimed block.
No,
this was I ran straight in the rear end of him.
Yes.
So that's bull crap there, because he ran into the back bumper of it. So yeah, that's misworded on Wikipedia's part, but just going through it. So that's two of his wins, 3 of his wins there. One was a fuel mileage. But, you're looking at Coca-Cola 600 winner in 17, 18 Daytona 500 winner. Then you have the 2022 Coke Zero Sugar winner. That's three wins right there. I guess they're calling the duels, the Blue-Green Vacation duel, as one of his wins. So that's 4. And then you have the one just recently at Richmond. So Richmond is his only non-super speedway win. If you win a super speedway, and like Denny Hamlin won like 4 or 5 Daytona 500s.
Well, super speedway.
It's a crapshoot.
Well, it is. Super speedway, everyone has a chance because it is. It's a crapshoot. And that's one thing that these people were doing. They're like, what's the difference on a super speedway when somebody blocks and they crash the whole field? I'm like, they're not intentionally trying to crash the whole field. It's split-second decisions, and they're off. Like, it's not blowing right through people.
So anyway, he got suspended, the spotter and everything.
What, for 3 games? 3 games. I'm
3 races.
Sorry, we're watching
the baseball. The baseball's a recap behind us. Yes. So let's go ahead.
Question though: do you think that he's going to be back?
He'll be back.
You don't think RC would fire over that?
No.
But all the penalties and everything, I feel like he's gonna cut him.
I don't know. News that's happened since we've been away. Corey LaJoie's out at Spire,
which stinks.
I think they should have given him an opportunity with Rodney Childers to make a point, but whatever. And you can tell they've taken away better equipment from him and put it on other people. Plus, I think he's just fallen off rock. There's been a rumor that he might go to the 15 at Rick Ware instead of Kaz Gralla.
Yeah. It's really kind of annoying to me because Corey LaJoie has made Spire. He's gotten so many sponsors and all this stuff, and he was in contention of winning a couple times in Atlanta. Chase Elliott wrecked him.
Yeah.
Pretty bad. So to me, it's kind of sucky on their part.
So we also have Eric Jones signed a extension with Legacy.
Which is a shame.
Because Jimmy Johnson's ruining Legacy.
Yeah.
Old 7-time. Oh, he's the best. No, he's not. He stinks.
No, he's a 7-time cheater.
Well, who cares? Okay, just take that out. Like we're talking about with Austin Dillon and Logano and all that. After he's left Hendrick Motorsports, he's done nothing. Zero, zilch, nada, nowhere. Not even on the IMSA stuff.
Yeah.
So anyway, you have that. You have Suarez signed an extension with Trackhouse, so Trackhouse is locked in now for their 2 cars. That's what's been going on. I just saw news that Kurt Busch got arrested with a DUI Monday. That's pretty interesting.
That's a shame.
Sad, but anyway. So we're looking at the 2025 drivers. We have Ross still in the 1. Cindric's a question mark in the 2. You have Grandpa in the intimidator, the imitator in the 3. You have Larson back in the 5, Keselowski in the 6. Who knows in the 7? 7's open. Kyle Busch back in the 8.
McDowell's going over there.
He's going to 70, one of the 70s.
71?
I don't know what 77's Hocevar, so whatever, what's his name was running. Anyway, then I'll get covered up. Chase Elliott in the 9, Hamlin in the 11. You have Blaney in the 12. We have nobody idea for the 15 or the 16 right now. Busher's back in the 17. Briscoe's in the 19. Seabell 20. Josh Berry's going to Wood Brothers. Unfortunately, Wood Brothers going to do nothing, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Joe Logano still back to 22. 23. Bubba Wallace, they got a question mark here. William Byron back in the 24. You have him. 31 is a question mark on how that's going to be. 34 is Noah Gragson. He's going to front row. That's what we're thinking. He's going to go to 34, not the 36, because they bought another charter. So they have the 34, 36, and 38. Todd Gilliland's the only one that's probably stuck in the 38. You have a 36. It could be Sam. They're thinking Sam Mayer, Eckes, Zane Smith. Custer's back in the 41. John Hunter Nemechek, 42. 43 is going to be Eric.
Rekachek hasn't done anything.
Eric Jones.
Kind of stinks because, well, I mean, Ty hasn't done a lot either, but Ty, I feel like, has actually led some laps and been in more contention than Rekachek.
Reddick possibly still in the... I think they can't get rid of Reddick. I think they get rid of Wallace before they get rid of Reddick just because... looking purely statistical.
Oh, yeah.
Ricky Stenhouse back in the 47. That's a big question mark because of the loss in sponsorships. Justin Haley in the 51. Ty Gibbs 54. McDowell's going to the 71.
71, yeah. That's
Hocevar's in the 77. Suarez is in the 99. And we have 2 extra charters out there that they're claiming question marks on. We do know that, and they don't have it on here. Oh, they have to do 41. Cole Custer is going to be going into the Haas factory car. So that's Cup Series 25. If you look at Xfinity 25, because there's been some changes here too that haven't really talked about so much with possible drivers there. Connor Zilich is going to be making his way up out of the ARCA. So you got, there's so many different cars bouncing around with people. But a rumor has it that the 00 may be coming back, or whatever the other Haas factory team is, and rumor has it that it might be Haley. I think that, Haley may not be a good driver right now, and I've said it too, but she was like the most popular driver for the AM Racing, kicked her out. And it's like, why wouldn't you want that sponsorship? I get you want to have somebody test your car and make sure you have good equipment, but you have the most popular driver in your car, and you're going to kick them out.
Well, I mean, plus they're only a one car team, right?
Yes.
They don't have the money. So why are you going to pick somebody that's brand new to Xfinity?
I think they were forced by Ford.
Okay. Well, that's great, but then halfway through the season, be like, you stink. Goodbye. You can't. I just think that's really sucky on their part.
Yeah. So, moving on to the rest of we're moving on to Michigan now. Let's take a quick look at the playoff standing for Xfinity. You have SVG with 3 wins, Austin Hill, Chandler Smith, Sam Mayer all with 2, Cole Custer with 1, Allgaier, Hurst, Jesse Love, all with 1 win, and then you have Allmendinger, Creed, Kligerman, and Sieg all sitting there. Allmendinger looks like he might be locked in. He's 102 points to the good. Ryan Sieg is 3 points to the good. And then you have Sammy Smith, Brandon Jones. Those are the 2 guys I think that are fighting for it. For that 12th and final spot.
What does theirs... How many more races do they have till theirs starts?
I don't fully know because it said 33, but that's got to be the whole season. Let's see, when does the playoffs? Playoffs start September 28th. So they have including Michigan, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 races left. So probably 6 races left for Cup Series too.
Okay.
Bristol's the last race is the last race for the playoffs. So that's when it starts. That's September 20th. We still might be able to go to that. For some reason, I thought it was August. pull some strings and pull some other things.
Oh my goodness.
Anywho, the Wawa 250 is at Daytona next weekend, not this weekend. Anyway, so that's what we look at for Xfinity, and then we go into the Cup Series playoff picture. Playoff picture goes where we have 12 winners. You have Larson with 4 wins, Denny with 3, Seabell with 3, Byron with 3, Blaney with 2. Then you have Reddick, Elliott, Keselowski, Bowman, Logano, Suarez, and Cindric, all with wins. Suarez and Cindric are going to be out after the round of 12, or when they get to the round of 12.
Okay, well, Suarez maybe not, but Cindric definitely.
Then you have Truex at 78 points positive, sitting at 13. Ty Gibbs and Bubba Wallace behind him. Ty Gibbs is at 18. Bubba's at 3 points. And Chris Buescher is actually tied with Ross, but I guess whatever they use for tiebreakers, Chris gets it over Ross because they're both at 0 at the cutoff line. Then you have Briscoe at negative 99. So it's going to me, unless something drastic happens, now we're talking 6 races, and Truex dropped 6 points, 8 points with a DNF, whatever.
No, he had like 103.
Did he have 103? So 20
During
points.
the race, he had 103.
So you look at 20 points, 6 races, that's 120 points. So if you broke all 6 races, you're going to be out. But that's not going to happen, I don't think. But you're looking at it. Yeah, I think Truex is pretty safe. He's got. I feel still he's got to get a win.
Yeah,
he's got to get a win to continue.
And what drives me nuts too is like that even last year, but like all the years before, he had multiple wins.
Yeah. Well, the kicker is,
and it's like what the heck is going on?
So his DNF dropped him 4 points. He's still 8th in the regular season points.
Yeah.
8th, and he's 13th in the playoffs because he doesn't have a win.
Yeah.
So, but you know, you look at the playoff picture, and you're looking at the only person I can see that can make it that's on the outside looking in is Ross. Ross is he's the only one close because he's tied. Briscoe's 99 points behind.
Yeah, well, it is
Ross
only if
and
they win.
Buescher.
Well,
yeah, if you win, you're in.
Oh, Buescher's had a couple close ones this year.
I think Buescher's winning Michigan. Put your money on it. You heard it from me. I want 10% of it.
Let's just wait and see who they're following.
Right?
Week.
Yeah, exactly. So that's our standings there. Let's go ahead and move on to our schedule for Michigan, and then we'll close this bad boy out at just under an hour on a podcast. It hasn't been this long in a long time, but we haven't had so much to talk about, and it's just been me because we've been so busy. Hence the 3 weeks off. Sorry about that, everybody. So we have coming up, we have the Henry Ford Health 200 ARCA race. We have the Cabo Wabo 250.
What is it called?
Cabo Wabo.
What the heck is that?
It's like tequila or something like that.
Oh.
It should be the Cabo Wabo. It should be opposite, okay? When you hear, because you have the Firekeepers Casino 400, which is the Cup Series. You go to the casino, then you go get your Cabo, and then you're so plastered that you have to go to the Henry Ford Health Care Center.
Oh man!
So Friday it looks like we have practice and qualifying for ARCA, and that is at 1:30 and 2:30, and then we have practice and qualifying for Xfinity 3:30 and 4:10. Sorry for you suckers out there, because NBC is a piece of crap when it comes to sports. That's not going to be on TV for you. That you got to get that streaming. Just like Kevin Harvick ranted about qualifying for the Cup Series this past weekend because of the Olympics. NBC was so hell-bent on getting everything this year that they put that on streaming, and everybody's like, where the beep is it? We want to watch this. We don't want to watch badminton or whatever, or, or competitive breakdancing.
I was going to say, it was probably the closing ceremony.
No, closing ceremonies were Sunday morning.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought they were Saturday.
I don't think they were Saturday. I think they were Sunday morning.
No, I thought they were Saturday.
Anyway, or breakdancing. Poor Team Australia. Then at 6 Eastern on FS1, MRN's got the radio broadcast, so it's going to be on Sirius XM, which NASCAR, thank you for ruining your website because it looks like crap now. That is going to be 6 Eastern, Henry Ford Health 200. Moving on to, I guess it's not going to be on Sirius XM, but thanks a lot, NASCAR, for ruining your website. 12:35 Eastern on Saturday, we have practice, and 1:20 we have qualifying for the Cup Series. USA is going to have that broadcast with MRN and Sirius XM on radio. Then we have the Cabo Wabo 250 at 3:30 Eastern on USA, MRN, and Sirius XM for the radio. And then we move on to, if you're not drunk enough from Cabo, I think Cabo is also a place in Mexico, I think, but I think Cabo Wabo is like tequila. 2:30 Eastern, you have the Firekeepers Casino 400 on USA, MRN, and Sirius XM. And before we close this off, I have to have a little rant here from NBC. You go and you shut down your NBC Sports Network, national thing. Yet you dump all your sports stuff on USA. The Olympics were on USA, CNBC, all this nonsense. NBC, True TV, all this nonsense. Probably not True TV because I think that's Turner. But you go and you want to take off the stupid thing, the stupid race, and put it somewhere else because, God forbid, somebody miss the 500th rerun of Law and Order Special Victims Unit.
Yeah.
Or whatever that new Austin PD or whatever that crap is that's on TV now. Because, USA's turned in... When we were younger, USA was... You watched movies on the weekend. Pretty much. It was reruns of movies. Now, all USA is you have wrestling...
Yeah, that's new.
No, it's been off and on for them. But they're going to lose Raw to... But I think they gained SmackDown. They lose Raw to Netflix. How do you lose a wrestling venue to Netflix, for crying out loud? Anyway. Then they're going to be playing Law and Order. Then they're going to be playing 911. Then they're going to be playing 911 Austin. Then they're going to play 911 Chicago. Then they're going to play FD, 911 FD, or whatever they're calling this.
But we can't put something relevant on that channel.
But no, my complaint is you have USA where you're putting sports, and it's nothing but a rerun channel except for wrestling and your sports now. Because hockey's on USA too. You couldn't keep your NBC Sports and then play old sports like an ESPN Classic style setup? Give me a flipping break.
There's enough sports out there to put anything on there.
But you can't complain to me that that's going to take more manpower. Bull crap. That's not taking more manpower to sit there and push a play button, or you have a digital cue and then you have somebody that's controlling 30 Rock, controlling something else to sit there and slam buttons. I mean, you have a division of this thing that owns a stinking hockey team.
Yeah. You have a point, but apparently
it's not it's a point on the top of my head, not, a valid point with anybody else. But anyway, thank you guys for listening
to all of our rants.
All of our rants, because now you get to hear it, and I know people were looking forward to hearing our rants. And we will be back next week at some point. Next week's a busy week.
And hopefully with a Truex win.
Hopefully with a Truex win, but it's Michigan too. So that's probably, I'm thinking a Buescher win. Who do you think's going to win the Firekeepers 400?
Firekeepers?
It's a snooze fest because it's at Michigan.
Oh, snooze fest go to Kisblowski then.
Yeah, but because it's also a Ford-dominated track. Didn't Blaney win it last year? I think Blaney won it. Either Blaney or Buescher won it.
Yeah, I think Buescher won it last year.
Then Blaney won it the year after that, or the year before that.
I don't know.
It's been dominated by Ford because it's Ford territory, even though General Motors is in Detroit too.
Yeah.
God forbid we actually look at a freaking map.
You know, I tell you this with the whole driving thing. You gotta stop giving people more credit than they
Anyway,
I don't know what the word.
All right, everybody. Have a good one. We'll catch you next week. Hopefully both of us, not just me. And we'll see you then.
Bye.
Adios.